What is going on, guys? And in this video what we are going to do is simply to write a function that returns true if it has a node with the received value. Otherwise it will return a false. So simply saying, the function should receive a linked list and some integer number, and the function should go through all the nodes of the list and return true if this number exists in the list. Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, we should return false. Okay, so either a true or either false. So this exercise is very similar to the exercise where we had to count how many nodes there are in the list. And this question, we also know that we have to do something similar, and it is to iterate through the list's nodes and make comparison between the received number and the data, okay, the data field of each of the nodes we are checking. If there is a match, then we should return true, otherwise false, and I think you got the point. And this video is being taught right after the previous video where I talked and explained to you guys what is the Boolean data type and how you may also use it. So now that you know how to use a Boolean data type, whether it's true or false, then in this case you will be able to use a Boolean function and a Boolean result. So here we go, we have our, I hope the instructions are clear. Okay, if something isn't clear, so pause the video and even ask the questions of this chapter. And what we have here is the structure of node, okay, nothing new here. And what we are going to do is to write a function. We know that the function returns, or at least it should return, a Boolean type. So for that, we will simply include, just like I showed you, std bool, std standard boolean.h. And now what we are going to do is the type of the function is going to be bool, okay, because it's either true or false. If we would have specified here integer, then we know that there is a wide range of values that this function may return. Also positive, negative, and so on. So we want to minimize the options to being only either true or either false. And the function is going to be is number in list. Okay, that's the name of the function. Very descriptive it should be. I hope it's pretty okay. Is number in list. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to receive a list. Okay, so node pointer header, the address of the first element of the head element of this particular list, and some integer number that we are going to look for in all of the nodes elements in this list. Okay, so next thing that we are going to do in the body of the function is that we are going to initialize some answer, let's call it, to be equal to false. So for example, Boolean answer equals to false, okay, to false. And then what we are going to do is to iterate over all the elements of this list. So for that, let's create additional temp variable of type node star. Temp equals to head. This will be used for iterating over all the nodes. And while temp next, as long as temp next does not equals to null, meaning we haven't, okay, while we still have additional nodes to explore. While that's the case, we are going to see if a given node, and let's maybe instead of using temp, let's use here current node that we are exploring. So current node. If the current node data, if its data is equal to num, so that means that we have found out that there is a node with the data of num. So we found it out, and we can say that answer equals to true, and in this case to true. And in this case, we can also not return, because I said that we should go through all the nodes. Okay, so if we have to go through all the nodes, then that's okay. So let's use current node next equals to current node equals to current node next, just moving further our current pointer in the case that we didn't find out. And finally we will return the answer, okay, which is either true or false. And you may be asking yourself, why do we even needed this bool answer equals to false in the first place, and why didn't we return here the answer once we found out, so we won't need to iterate even further and just to waste time? And you are right 100%, guys, because I just wanted to show you, because the question was to go through all the nodes of the list. Okay, so there is really no reason to go through the next nodes of the list once you found out that number exists in the data of one of the nodes. So in this case, you may return answer and to finish the execution of the function. And also, there is actually no even reason to create this variable. Just for some convenience and explanation, I created it. Basically, what I would have done in this case is that if current node data equals to num, so in this case return true, okay, and otherwise if we have reached, okay, we are out of this while loop only if we reached the end of the list, okay, and we didn't return true so far, so definitely the answer would be that now we have to return false, because we did not find the answer and num in any of the nodes in this list. So I hope that's clear to you guys. So once again, let's go over all the steps we've done here. We received the head of the list, and we received some number, and we wanted to go over all the elements of this linked list and to see if a given number, some arbitrary number that the user sends, if this number that the function receives, if it is inside of some of the nodes in this list. If that's the case, this function should return true, and if it's not, then the function should return false. And when we are going to call this function, it's going to be pretty much nice. We are going to ask if is number in list and pass the list and a number, and we will receive true if that's the case, if the number is inside of this list. Otherwise, we will receive false, and based on this result, we will be able to, I don't know, to make some operations and to make some conclusions, and based on that, to execute different parts of code. So thank you guys, and I hope this video is clear to you. Ask me any questions about it if you have, and until next time, I'll see you then.